Why, hello, media arts students, and welcome back to another lesson. Hope you're having a great week so far. And this week, our final week before spring break, we're going to continue with Google Presentations. However, we're going to use Google Presentations in a way you've probably never used before. So you're probably familiar with stop motion films, right? Where you take a series of photos and then play them one after the other. And when you speed them up, it looks like video. That's exactly how a video camera is recording. In fact, right now, the camera that I'm recording on is taking 24 pictures every second. So it strings it all together and you can't even tell that it is actually a series of still photos. But what we're going to do today is we're going to take a Google presentation and we're going to turn that into an animated little video. So we're going to use our WeVideo accounts. Hopefully you've had a chance to experiment with them and you've got it all up and running. Classlink is back online. So if you're having an issue logging in before, it should be back. So last week we worked on the icon format presentation where you just showed that you understood how a Google Doc can be formatted, what the different tools like making things bold or underlining or italics do, or how to make a bulleted list and a table. And then you took that and you put that onto a presentation. Now, what we're going to do this week with that presentation, like I was saying, is we're going to make an animated video. So let's jump right in so I can show you how that's going to work. Okay, so this week's goals, let's jump right into it. We are going to learn how to make a stop motion video using Google Slides. We are then going to learn how to publish a Google presentation or Google slideshow to the web. You can do this to any single presentation that you ever make. You can always do it so it'll actually just autoplay for you. And then lastly, we're going to do a screen recording of those Google Slides. We're going to use WeVideo to really turn it into a video. So we'll add some titles and some sounds, things like that. So let's get right into the lesson. So Google Slides, the video I'm about to show you here was made in Google Slides, and I published it to the web so it would autoplay, and I screen recorded it, and then I imported it into my video editing software. I used a different software at the time because we didn't have WeVideo accounts when I first made this, but the same thing will show. I'm going to demonstrate how to do this from start to finish. I added music, I added sound effects, and I added titles. So let's take a moment and watch that video now. All right, I hope you enjoyed my very short film, The Helicopter. And that was all just made in Google Slides. And let me show you how we're going to make that. Don't play again. All right, so what you'll need to do is in your Google Drive, open up your Media Arts folder and hit File, New, Presentation. Now, what I want you to do is think of a setting for your story. You can do a Google image search for a background that you want to use in your video. I wanted some mountains in the background, so I did mountains. I think that was pretty much it. Maybe I searched for cartoon mountains. I'll demonstrate this and we'll see how that goes. All right. Stop motion videos are a series of still pictures, like I was mentioning before. Most videos have between 24 and 30 frames per second, but stop motion can use less. So if you want to make a 5-second video, you'll need about 100 slides. Now, the helicopter took 3 seconds to go across the screen in 70 frames. So you can see there were 70 slides to this presentation. I actually added more slides at the end just so I could have more of the background when I went to edit it, but you'll see how that all works. Okay, you don't need to recreate every single slide from scratch. You can just use the duplicate function. So you duplicate your slide by selecting it in the slide sorter on the left and pressing Control D on a Chromebook or Command D on a Mac, or selecting Edit and Duplicate. And so you're just going to duplicate the background, and now you'll have 2 slides that are exactly the same. So you make a few copies of your background and you're good to go. Then we're going to have to find an object that we want to animate. So I went ahead and found a helicopter. Now, you search for an image that you want to have move across the screen. It should be a PNG so that it does not have a background behind it. Like I said, I chose a helicopter, and there it is. All right. Why won't it go? There we go. All right. So step 5. You are going to move the image slightly, now very slightly, that you want it to move, and you're going to duplicate that slide and repeat it for as long as you want your motion to be. I had 65 slides of motion with a few slides of just background, like I was saying before. So you can see there's just a spattering of those slides. All right. You've now created an animated object. So I made a few copies of the background so the animation will look complete once the object has moved by. And my next step is to see my animation play. All I need to do is publish it to the web. So you're going to click File and Publish to the web. Now, once it's published, you don't want it to be super slow because otherwise it's set up to have like an announcement type slideshow that would play. So what you're going to do is you're going to make some adjustments. So instead of making it advance every 3 seconds, you're going to make it advance every second. But even still, remember, I said I'm recording this video at 24 frames per second. So if you make your slideshow advance just once every second, that's still going to be 24 times slower than this video. So we're going to even make more changes later. But what you'll do is you will make it advance to every single second and make it reload after it goes to the last slide. That way when you're screen recording it, you'll have lots of footage of it and you can trim out all the parts that might have any buttons that pop up or things like that. So to make it look great, just have it auto repeat and auto start. Okay. Then this is where it gets a little tricky, but I think you can handle it. Now, what you'll do is you're going to copy and paste the web address, the URL that ends up at the top of your screen there. And you are going to paste it into a new tab. And when you do, what you're going to do is you are going to change the very last number, which is 1000. So you have to scroll all the way to the right to see that and change it to the number 100. This will make it play 10 times faster. So you can change that number to different numbers to see what the speed would be like. If you want it any faster than that, just make it a little bit less than 100. So maybe 70 or 80. And so just experiment with that and you will see what speeds you get. Now, this isn't incredibly essential because you can change the speed once we get to WeVideo anyways. All right. Now what you're going to do is you are going to screen record it using WeVideo. And what you'll do is you are going to press record. There's a little record button with a circle on it. In fact, I'm going to demonstrate each step. So I'm in my Media Arts folder. I'm going to press New Slides, and I am going to create and share. I want this in the folder. That way it's shared with everyone. And I'm going to call this presentation my animation. Okay. All right, I'm going to delete that. I don't need anything on the slide other than just a blank background. Now, the first thing I want to do is I want to find a background. So let's set this somewhere. Let's go Insert Image. Maybe I will search the web and put this on the moon. There we go. I'm liking it. That's not very big, is it? I could crop this. Okay, so here's a great example of a picture that's not filling my slide. What I can come and do is use this crop tool, and I can crop it so that it's going to be more in the dimensions. It'll still look like the moon. I don't need that much space behind it. So when I hit enter, now I'm going to go to fill this slide. I get the idea that it's moon. Okay. Let's see if I can do a moon rover PNG. Are they going to let me? This is going to be a little trickier. You know what? I'm going to have to go fancy search. So here, we'll check this out. I'm going to search for moon, or is it lunar rover? Images. Actually, is there even a PNG out there? Somebody already made this? Perfect. You like that? I'm going to save this one to my computer. Animation. I'm going to put my moon rover on here. Why did it not let me? There we go. That looks cool. All right, so check this out. I am going to animate the moon thing coming across here. So I'm going to make it drive right across the road. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start it with it here, completely off. That way you can't even see it. And I'm going to duplicate Okay, so duplicate is Command and D. I got 10 slides where you can't even see it. 9 slides. All right, I'm going to duplicate again. And now I'm going to move my lunar thing just barely onto the screen. Good. Now I'm going to add about, I don't know, a bunch, because I might just hitting, why not? Okay, so there's my animation. I've got it all set. So now what I need to do is publish this to the, well, actually, let's watch it first to make sure we like it. So the way you can watch a presentation is you start on the first slide, and then you just hold your right arrow key down. You'll see the motion. Yeah, I like it. Now I could screen record it just like that, but I'm going to show you how to publish this to the web as well. So I'm going to do File, Publish to the Web. And when I do, I'm going to make it advance every second, start as soon as it loads, and restart after the last slide, and hit Publish. And it says, are you sure? I'm sure. Okay. So now I'm good, and I've got this all copied. Now remember, the last number, that's 1,000, we need to change to 100. So I'm going to copy this, Command and C, Control and C on a Chromebook, go to a new tab and paste, and then at the very end, I'm going to delete the last 0. So it makes it 100, and let's click and see what happens. And auto plays for you. It's looking pretty good. I'm going to let it play a couple times, though. Because now it's going to play without showing any of the controls, and it's going to look great for my movie. So now we need to go to WeVideo. So you're going to log into WeVideo using Classlink. Now, Classlink was down for a little while last week. It should be back. And once you're in WeVideo, just start a new project. If you have any questions about how to use WeVideo, please come to office hours. That's why I'm here every single day to help you through it. Now, this week, I should be available just about every single day. Actually, this week, I'm going to be available Monday. So if you need any help, please just come to office hours. I'm going to be available Monday through Wednesday at regular office hour times. And if you need to meet on Thursday or Friday, just go ahead and send me an email, and I'll set up a time to meet with you. So I will help you walk through. What you're going to do is you're going to hit this record button, and then you're going to choose screen and hit next. And it doesn't even matter what microphone, if you have a microphone turned on. And here is my screen that I want to record. And it's going to start going. So it's recording right now. And I'm going to let the whole moon, I'm going to let it drive by once. And there it goes. I like it. And then, yeah. Now I got the still moon at the end. It'll work great. Once it starts again, I can stop this. So I'm going to hit this stop sharing button. All right. So now that's stopped. I go back to WeVideo, and I'm going to hit save. And look at this. My video should be here. And I'm going to zoom ahead to where, so I'm going to move the scissors. My computer is making a lot of noise right now. To where I get to, so I can see right where the moon happens. And I'm going to hit the scissors. I'm going to delete that. And I'll move this back to the beginning. I'm going to let the whole moon, I'm going to let it drive by once. And there it goes. I like it. All right. And then, yeah. Now I got the still moon at the end. It'll work great. Okay. I don't want the lunar vehicle showing up again, so I'm going to back up just till it's not there. And you can just drag the handle at the end and go right till it's no longer there. Moon at the end. Okay, so it started to come back. Let's see if I got it. Let's watch that one more time. And there it goes. I like it. All right, and we don't need my voice in the background. Yeah. So let me walk you through a couple tricks in WeVideo. The first thing you do is you double click on it. you have your transform, you have your cropping, you have audio. Let's just drop the volume because we don't want any of that, and we'll hit Save Changes. Now it's a silent video. That's much better. All right, the next thing is I can double click on it, and I can go to the transform button, and I can zoom in, right, so that I don't see all that other stuff. So I'm going to zoom in a bit just so that you don't, so it's just all moon, and I can hit Save Changes. And now let's watch it and see how that looks. All right, I'm going to go back and re-center this because I really wanted to be able to see, I want to see a little more of the car. That looks good. Save Changes. So there it is. Now I have a moon vehicle driving across the moon in my video. Okay. Now, here's where we're going to add some sound effects and some music. So the first thing I can do for music is I could come up here and I could go into My Media. Oh, I'm sorry. So I can come up here and I can go to Audio, and I could find a song that I like, right? All right, I could try that one. That doesn't seem very moon-like to me. That feels more moonish. I'm going to put that on audio one line. Now let's watch it with music. This is going to work really nicely then to add a title. So I'm going to add some text. And you can look at all sorts of text styles. And I'm looking for something that looks moon-like. What's this one? That could be neat. All right, I'm going to put this one on my video 2 line. And so now it's going to... Ooh, that looks perfect. It will line up really nicely. All right, so I'm going to shorten it because I don't want it to have... to still be on... There we go. And I'm going to say... What do I want it to say? I don't really know. I think I'm going to say... The Lunar Explorer Adventure. By the way, I could change colors too if I wanted. I could go to something that I think looks more lunar. I like that. I'm feeling good about everything. Ready? Now let's watch it. I'm going to shorten it just a bit. And here's a little trick for you. If you copy and paste titles, you can put them at the beginning and end, because I always like everyone's movie to begin and end with a title. So I'm going to use the exact same title. Let's watch that. All right. The other thing I want you to do is get in the habit of fading your audio, because otherwise it's going to just sound silly. So what you're going to do is you're going to click on it and then hit this little speaker sound. And then we're going to hit fade out. I'm going to give it 3 seconds of fading out. Not 30. That's the entire video. All right, 3 seconds out. Let's hear it. That didn't work. Why not? Why not? Fade. Oh. Out. Something weird happened. Let's try that again. I think I set something to 350%. In at 100%. What the heck happened? I'm not teaching you this very well, am I? Well, you can also put the little dots there to make it fade. Let's see how this looks now. All right, that takes way too long to fade in. I think I'm gonna like it. I want to show you one more thing too, in case you didn't get the speed right when you were editing there. You can change the speed by coming to this little button here and making fast by dragging this over. That's 2 times. Do I want it 2 times fast? Let's see it at 2 times fast. It's gonna look weird. I'd have to move this back. There we go. Let's try again. It's probably gonna be way too fast, but you get the idea. Yeah, way too fast for me. I'm gonna go back. I'm just gonna Command Z this to get it back. And I think that's how I like my movie. All right. So that is how you make an animation, and you add titles and you add sound, also add sound effects. Now let's not get too particular. Yes, in space you can't hear anything because it's a vacuum, but I still want to add sound effects because I like sound effects and I want to show you some cool sound effects. And if we go into sound effects, events, hospital, nature, other people, traffic, maybe we can do traffic, right? Let's click on traffic. Is there just a car driving by? There's city traffic. Pedestrians, train, taxi. Actually, taxi is going to work perfectly here. So I'm going to add this to another effect. Now, here's what you have to do if you want to add multiple audio pieces. You're going to hit plus, and you're going to add an audio. The same can be for a video track as well. So now I can take that taxi sound effect, and I can just put it here. And then now let's see what it sounds like. Pretty cool. Who knew that adding a taxi sound effect would be effective? All right, but we're going to shorten that because once it's driven away, you wouldn't even notice it. Although I think I'm going to fade it. So I can go to audio, fade out, 2 seconds maybe. There we go, that looks better. Because as it drives off, it's going to fade away. All right, the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hit finish. And I'm going to call this Lunar Exploration. Hey kids, I hope you're enjoying this week's video. As you can see, I'm up enjoying a little nature. Do we have a treat for you? We have a very special secret word. In fact, it's not a word. Well, it's kind of a word, but it's a teacher. So give it up, ladies and gentlemen, for your secret teacher, Mr. Lippert.
Mr. Lippert's the secret word.
All right, everybody. So Mr. Lippert's your secret word. Let's get back to work. All right, set. Remember, exporting you always want to do in high definition. So I'm going to click HD 1280 by 720. I'm going to hit this little Google Drive icon there. That's super important. And then I'm going to hit export. It's going to take a moment or two to do this. My battery's about to die on this camera, so we'll see. I'm going to just keep rolling with it. So there we go. All right, so I'm going to wait for that. It says it's going to be 16 seconds. It should be ready at any time. And I am going to then go to Google Classroom so that I'm able to attach it to the assignment. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to this week's assignment and hit Add or Create from Google Drive, and it'll be my most recent, because remember, I pressed that Google Drive icon. Lunar Exploration is there. Hi, Miss Broadus. And I can hit Insert, and now my video is going to attach, and then I could press Turn In. I'm not going to turn it in because this is for a different class, but you get the idea. It'll show it's right there. Then you press Turn In, and you're good to go. All right, so that's it for this week. Hopefully you had a blast making these animations. Let me know if you have any questions whatsoever. So, like I always say, never stop creating, and I'll see you in the next video. my battery didn't die. It's been flashing forever. All right, see you guys.